What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at you with another video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Rippaverse trading cards. That's right, somebody from the Rippaverse community was so kind to post pictures of all the Rippaverse trading cards. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at them, read them, see if we can learn any new information about the Rippaverse. Now, if you listen to my commentary on the Rippaverse prior to getting the comic or when I got it, we had a lot of questions, and I was told that some of these questions would be answered in the trading cards, but I didn't buy them. I didn't buy the trading cards. So I was bereft. I had no answers. But now we're going to get some. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a look. We're going to read the trading cards. And we're going to see if we can find out any new information about the Rippaverse. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. All right, this is the first card. This is the Isom card. Real name, Avery Silman. Knew that. Height, 6 foot. 200 pounds. He's from Floor Texas. And of course, his first appearance was in Isom #1, April 2022. All the cards are going to have this first appearance on there. It's kind of unnecessary since, like, this is the first issue. All the characters obviously debuted in this issue, or they're going to debut in issue #2, yada, yada, yada. Right? We haven't gone far enough into the Rippaverse to really need a first appearance, like, to keep track of when these characters were debuted. But I digress. All right, it says this man is one of the most intriguing subjects I've been keeping tabs on. Okay, these are all supposed to be written from the point of view of Dokuman, the Pokemon that documents all the um, excerpts in the Rippaverse. So Dokuman is going to document it. And these are his words. This man is one of the most intriguing subjects I've been keeping tabs on. Though he is from the city, he currently lives in Shadow Valley on his own ranch that has many workers. Wow, that's like a second grade sentence. He is clearly an excerpt, but I have not quite figured out what the origin of his powers. The suit that he wore has a symbol on the waistband, that seems to change color, but I don't quite know what it means. There was a moment not too long ago where it looked like he retired his attire and decided to no longer favor the life of fighting criminals in Florespark. Is he back? It's hard to tell, but his abilities have grown unlike anything I've seen before. If this keeps up, he will be one of the most powerful beings on this planet. Wow. So what did we learn from this about Isom? He has powers. They don't know what they are. Don't know where he got them. His suit has a symbol that maybe it seems to change colors. Not sure. The guy's been watching and documenting excerpts, but he's unsure of things. He's unsure if that symbol changed color. It's like maybe he blinked and he thought it changed color, but he wasn't sure. His abilities have grown. We don't know what they are. Again, we don't know what his abilities are, but apparently they've grown. Kind of weird. Right, maybe there's more. There's more here. It says power observations. I do not know what his powers actually are. What I do know is that he's very strong and has only gotten stronger. How do you know he's gotten stronger if you don't know what his powers are? This is a very, very weak attempt at exposition. It's basically like, hey, you bought these cards, but guess what? We're not going to tell you the powers of Isom. We're not going to let you know anything. I knew just as much going in as I do now, right? I've learned no new information from this card. You've just basically summed up the story. We don't know what his powers are. We're not going to tell you. All right, that was card #1. We got 10 more of these, so maybe we'll learn something. All right, this is Yaira. Real name, unknown. The mystical, magical being who can watch the world. Apparently, he doesn't know how to read a piece of mail. He can't go, oh, there's that piece of mail that Yaira has at her house that has her real name on it. Can't do that. She's gone as several names. It should probably be by several names. She's gone by several names. But even so, the magical, mystical being should know what her real name is. Birthplace unknown. She's 6'3" and 215 pounds. And she can't be from Earth. Why? I don't know, but she just can't. She just can't be from Earth. He knows this. Huh. All right. Her age is eluding me, but she does appear ancient. Ooh. I got no indication. So that we've learned one new information here. She's apparently appears ancient, perhaps more so than I have. Perhaps more so than I have what? Sh- Shouldn't it be perhaps more so than I do? Is he trying to say that she looks older than him? Bad sentence, bad English grammar. Probably should have got that checked out. I've been keeping up with her longer than any other subject. She has a very knowledge. She has a knowledge base that exceeds those who appear very elderly. Wow, she knows things that old people don't know. So she knows how to open her email and getting on Google, maybe pay bills online. I'm sure she has a Twitter account. She knows how to log into her Twitter because old people don't know how to do that stuff. She's an archaeologist in occupation, so he knows what her job is, but he doesn't know her name. Not even he didn't even like, hey, here's the assumed name or the only name I could find. But she's most recently been a consultant for Projexis as a biologist. Ooh, she's a double threat. She's a archaeologist slash biologist. She's gonna put Indiana Jones to shame. That's 2 lifetimes worth of study. She can only study one thing at a time. There are no people in the real world that have multiple doctorates, multiple degrees. It takes a whole lifetime to become a biologist and a whole lifetime to become an archaeologist. So she's at least twice as old as a normal person. And that's how I know she's older than what she appears. Oh my god, I should have read ahead. Yeah, so apparently she's because she has both biology and archaeology knowledge. Obviously, she's older than what she looks. She can't possibly be as old as she looks. That's it's a lot of studying she's got to do. Uh, she doesn't have any known allegiances, and she certainly isn't a hero. Every relationship seems short lived and tactical. I've seen her kill small armies of men, yet she doesn't quite seem evil. Either way, this woman is dangerous. She killed a whole bunch of men, just wiped them out, but she's not evil. She's not a hero either, but just kills people. All right, it says power observation. When her powers are activated, her hair and fingertips turn bluish. She has a constant whirlwind that surrounds her, which could explain her flight. Icicles seem to grow from her pores. So again, we don't know her exact powers. Apparently, she makes blue come around her and maybe icicles. She sweats ice, and she's got whirlwind around her, sort of. Uh, it's great, great. We've learned very little here. All right, what we got next? This is going swimmingly. Santuan. Real name Santuan. I cannot find the last name. Does Document like he's looking through the phone book? He's like Cher or Madonna. It's just a single name in it. Oh, there it is, Santuan. Height 6'7", weight at least 500. At least 500. I'm not sure. He just looks at it like that guy's got to be at least. That's a Ninja Kitty sized motherfucker right there. He's at least 500 pounds. At least. Birthplace. I don't know where he was born, but I know where he lives, and it was Flores Park, Texas. This guy, he's like really bad at his job. Document. I don't know who your master is. I don't know who the guy is calling the shots, but he should fire you. You're doing a bad job. All right, let's see what he says. What is the bio? A feared excerpt for hire. Santuan is one of the strongest men this planet has to offer. Okay, so he's one of the strongest men. The guy's like Isom just knocked him out. So this is like the Incredible Hulk of the universe, and Isom just, I mean, he just punches Isom like several times in the face. Doesn't kill him, just hammers him. But he's the strongest, one of the strongest men on the planet. So I guess people ain't really that strong. Excerpts ain't really that strong. He's currently, I say, he'll do good or bad as long as he gets paid. I mean, that's what a for hire mercenary for hire really is. You just kind of explained the thing you told me. Padding, so it's okay. He's currently working for Darren Fontano, which is to be fairly lucrative for him. I guess his gold teeth have become somewhat iconic by those who recognize him. I'm not sure when his teeth became so expensive, but they've been this way since I first took interest in him as a subject. I don't know when his teeth become so expensive. Now we're appraising his gold teeth. Santuan's confidence is unreal, and he's never been in a fight that he didn't think he could win. And he's gone up against beings that aren't from Earth. Is he truly driven by the money, or is that a facade or something else? So the three choices are either he's driven by money, he's not driven by money, or he's not driven by money. The facade and the something else are the exact same thing. If it's a facade, that means it's fake. Being driven by money is not real. So you don't need the something else. That something else is unnecessary. It's redundant. All right, what are his powers? To my knowledge, his power is brute strength. One of the greatest feats I've witnessed from him is dragging an inoperable tank that belonged to the Texas military. So he just drags a tank. He's that strong. He could drag a tank. But punching Isom in the face, he didn't really, he didn't put his back into it, I guess. Also, what's up with this weird little drippy here? It's weird. Come on. All right, what's next? Card number 4. All right, Darren Fontano. His real name is Darren Fontano. Awesome. His height, 6 foot. His weight, 190 pounds. He's from Florist Park, Texas. And his first appearance is in Isom #1. Wow. All right. It says, I don't generally like to keep up with people that aren't special in terms of their abilities. Period. But Darren Fontano is a person of interest because the power he has isn't related to his physicality. So what you should have did is right here in this period spot, should have put a comma, and then you should have made that but a small b, lowercase b, and then you would have had that. Because that's kind of what I felt you were going for. Also, you really don't need this. Like, why is like Document is writing it down? He's like, I better capitalize. I better put isn't really big. Make sure it's all capitals, so my boss knows this is serious. He's one of the richest men in Texas, and he's certainly one of the most respected men in Florist Park. Club Merc is one of the many properties he owns, and I've seen some of the world's biggest shot callers make appearances there. Man, Document, he's down with the lingo. He's calling people shot callers. Other gangsters rarely disrespect him, and even excepts fear him. The scary thing is that nobody knows why he has amassed so much power. What are his motives? The day he has political aspirations will be the day that he fully controls this entire city. For a guy with such a questionable moral compass, you wouldn't believe it if you hear the way people discuss him. So he's the kingpin. Guys, he's the kingpin. Except for he's not the kingpin because he's from Texas. He's not a big white guy. He's a small, or not small, 6 foot black guy. It's definitely not modeled after the kingpin. It's definitely it's total different, thing. The kingpin's never wanted to be mayor and control New York and control everything, and he controls all the underworld, and people fear him. But they think that he's a normal businessman. So this guy here is totally different from the kingpin. No. Power observation. The local police let him do whatever he wants, and the local politicians praise him as if he's a humanitarian. See, it's definitely different than the kingpin. It's completely different. All right, what's next? Lillian Ronashi. See, this is one of the characters we didn't get a name for, so now we have a name. Real name, Lillian Ronashi. Height 5'7", weight 125 pounds. Birthplace, unknown. Again, he's dropping the ball here. You're dropping the ball, Dakuman. You don't even know where this lady was born. Though her lineage traces back to Japan, it's hard to nail down exactly where she's from. With her partner, Michael Copper, she goes city to city attempting to obtain wealth and power. It should be from. She goes from city. She goes from city to city. Not goes city. She goes city to city. She goes from city to city. It should be from city to city. Most of these attempts have not been successful, but it isn't for the lack of trying. She's an except that has some sort of purple magic-like power. I've yet to see her use her abilities to attack others, which is part of what makes her interesting. She's interesting because she has powers, but she doesn't use them to attack people. That's interesting. Come on, guys. Dakuman told you it's interesting, so you got to think it's interesting. It's interesting, right? Right? No, I don't think so. Both her and her partner have recently settled in Florespark, Texas. Considering her line of work, she'll inevitably come into conflict with Darren Fontano, which is something I must keep an eye on. Why? No idea. What her line of work is? Don't know because he didn't say. She just goes from city to city to obtain wealth and power. That's not a line of work. That's just like being a transient. She's a transient looking for money. She's like she's a con man. She's a confidence lady. She goes from city to city trying to con people, get money. She's Tommy Tallarico. Power observation. She's very observant, and her powers seem to reflect that. With her magic, if that's what it is. He doesn't even know if it's magic. Maybe it's magic. Is it magic? I don't know. Does magic exist? I'm not sure. Dakuman's not sure. We're not sure. We don't know if there's magic. Maybe there's magic. If you guys like magic, if the Rippaverse fans say it's magic, then I guess he'll make it magic, but it's not really magic yet. I don't know. I've watched her mold and project a very detailed layout of a building for visual purposes. Her powers is she could look at things and then be like, draw them. You know, like real people in the real world that just see stuff and then they could draw it really good from memory. She's got a very good memory. She's a very observant and then uses her maybe magic, not quite magic, to make floor plans. That's a superpower. That's awesome. All right, here's her partner, Michael Copper. Another one we didn't have a name for in the book, but now we got a name. So we've learned something. So far we've learned two names. We learned that Santuan is super smart. No, super strong. And that Yaira is old because she's a biologist / archaeologist, so that means she's got to be old. All right. So Michael Copper's real name is Michael Copper. 6'1", 175 pounds. He's from Central Tennessee. And we got a little different here. We got someone who's from a little ways out. He seems rather attached to Lillian Ronashi, but their relationship isn't a romantic one. Mr. Copper has had very successful businesses he's founded in the past, but he always sells them when they become profitable. Wow, sounds like he's a businessman that sells things. He sells businesses. He makes businesses and then he sells them because he's a businessman. He does business. He does business things, guys. Come on. As savvy as he is, he does not need his partner. This is what makes him such an interesting subject, as his true motives are masked. The thing that sticks out the most would be his skills in hand-to-hand combat. He does not look like it, but this man is an incredibly talented fighter. Where did he learn such a thing? Question mark? Are you asking me a question? You're the one who's documenting things. Why are you asking me a question? Sure, he's an except, but his abilities do not make him look physically stronger. But you documenting stuff, and you don't know where these people's powers from. You don't know where they learned. What you been doing? You lazy. His eyes light up green, and his powers are related to his vision. How? How are they related to his vision? I know that he can see great distances and beyond certain barriers, but something tells me that isn't all he can do. What like wood? He can see through wood, but like not metal or not concrete, or like does lead stop his vision? Does he got Superman's X-ray vision, but then lead stop? What is it? I swear to God, why did people buy these cards? These cards are supposed to tell us stuff. This has told us nothing. We've learned nothing. We've learned a couple of names. We're halfway through. Braxwell. All right, here's one of the Alpha Cores. His name is Jeremiah Braxwell. He's 5'10", 170 pounds. He's from Florist Park, Texas. Everybody's from Texas. Known simply as Braxwell. He's the more silent member of Alpha Core. Considering his demeanor, one could wrongfully assume he's emotionally distraught. But this is just who he is. Again, this period should probably be a comma. That should be a lowercase b. He's about taking care of business. His addition to the Florist Park police force marked the creation of Alpha Core. According to my records, he was just a normal local kid with aspirations of being a cop. At some point along the way, he gained new abilities, which slightly altered his trajectory. Each member of Alpha Core has a uniform that they individually selected, although I do not understand the specific point of the helmet and visor of Braxwell. Hey guys, this guy's wearing a helmet and a visor, but I don't know why. I was out drinking. Me and the other guys were just drinking when I should have been documenting, and so I didn't see why he picked the helmet with the visor. I know all this other stuff though. So, all right, what are his powers? His powers. He possesses the ability to fly at a speed that even rivals his colleague Brian Solari. Okay, what speed is that though? What? That's not a speed. Saying he flies almost as fast or equally as fast as someone else whose powers we don't know is not a speed limit. 60, 70 miles an hour? 100, 120, 300? What are we talking here? His raw strength isn't particularly special, but he does have tremendous durability. How tremendous? Is his skin like as hard as steel? Hard as rock? Hard as oak? Give us something. Something, man. Jeez. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting to learn lots of things. I didn't learn nothing so far. Ingrid Valdez. Real name, Ingrid Valdez. Height, 5'8". Weight, 150 pounds. Oh. As both the newest and youngest member of Alpha Core, Ingrid is the least experienced of their team, but she has the most unique ability. Wow. I wouldn't have guessed the one who is the youngest and newest member would have been the least experienced. That shocked me. She's been very secretive with how she's obtained her powers. Again, we don't know how anyone has obtained their powers. Are they born with it? Government experiments? Solar radiation? Gamma radiation? Bitten by radioactive bugs? Nothing. We've learned nothing about a single person and how they gain powers. We don't even know how anyone gets powers. How is anybody classified as an accept in this universe? This is not world building. This is putting stuff off. This is world kicking the can down the road until the fans figure something out that I like, and then I use it and pretend like that was the plan all along. There's no evidence that she ever had them throughout her childhood. A former power lifter. This woman is no slouch physically. She's a power lifter. 5'8", 150 pounds. Power lifter. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, folks. She's so far the smallest individual on this list. And she was a power lifter before she got her powers. But she's only 5'8", 150 pounds. And if you look at the book, she doesn't have very much muscle definition. Does Eric July know what power lifters look like? They're big, beefy women. They're very, very stout. Power lifters has a wide base. Powerlifting, wide base. You need a wide base to lift lots of weight. She was handpicked by Braxwell to join Alpha Core after a run-in with her during a mission. Many people make the mistake in assuming that it's her suit that gives her the abilities. I'm not exactly sure she even needs it. Well, I mean, she got to wear clothes, right? I mean, we all got to wear suits. She got to wear an outfit of some sort. That's kind of a weird thing to say. I don't even know if she needs it. She don't even need clothes. Nonetheless, she's the one member of the Alpha Core that cannot fly, which makes her an odd addition. She can't fly, guys. She can't fly. Interesting. The public calls her a wire caster. able to extend green color energy. She depends on this ability not just for various attacks, but for traversal as well. She swings on green webs, sort of like Spider Woman, you know, Julia Carpenter, where she was shooting white energy webs out of her hands, and she used that to swing around. This is totally different. She's shooting green wires, color energy that she uses to swing around. Completely different character. Not at all. Like and why is Wirecaster capitalized? That's kind of a weird thing. And what the hell is green color energy? That's not how you classify energy. That's not a scientific term. Green color energy. We got solar energy. We got kinetic energy. We got potential energy, and of course, green color energy. You know, Brian Solari. Real name Brian Solari. He's 6'4", 245 pounds, and he's from the Village, Texas. First appearance, Isom #1, obviously. Brian Solari is the clear and obvious leader of Elfcore. Why? Why is he the clear and obvious leader? Why? Why is I don't? It's not a. It's kind of a weird thing. Is it clear and obvious because he was the guy in the middle? The guy in the middle was the leader. A veteran of the Great War of Separation. His journey started with the Texas military. Apparently, Texas has separated from the rest of the Union. That's a thing that happened in this universe, I guess. The result of a rather successful experiment. Ooh, there we go. We finally got someone. This guy's been experimented on. He completely changed the tide of the war with the tactical use of his abilities. After the war, he settled in Flores Park, where he became the primary response agency for all threats that were. Why would he be an agency? Shouldn't he be the primary response agent or the primary responder for all threats? Primary superhero, primary hero. He's not an agency. He's a person. People aren't agencies. Agencies are like, companies. It's not an agency. Realizing that he needed a team, but he was an agency. What does he need a team for? Isn't a team smaller than an agency? Aren't teams part of agencies? Realizing that he needed a team, he recruited Braxwell, and this marked the formation of Alpha Corps. It's two guys. Two guys. We call ourselves Alpha Corps. We're the Alpha Corps. One of the most powerful beings in this region. He has successfully fought off both human and alien threats. Simply put, he's a Texas legend that is loved by just about everyone. Everyone loves this guy. He's a Texas legend. He's Superman. The Superman of this universe. He is an absolute powerhouse. I guess. Is he more powerful than Santuan? Santuan's supposed to be like one of the most powerful, strongest guys around. Is he more powerful than that? We don't know. All I'm aware of is that he has incredible raw strength and the ability to fly. So far, that has been more than enough to get the job done. So he's exactly Superman. He flies. His strength is totally different from Superman and Zod and all the other Superman-like characters. It's completely different. I remember when this was supposed to be like Rippaverse was going to be brand new characters, brand new ideas, new storylines, uh, completely original thoughts. But this is just like rehashing, recycling, remixing ideas. All right, Validine, a real name, Validine, height 7 foot. Weight, I don't know. The other guy, he was like at least 500 pounds. Remember Santuan? Santuan, at least 500. This guy, he can't size him up. He's like, I'm not quite sure. Maybe I don't want to. He don't want to offend. He don't want to venture a guess as to how much this guy weighs because he don't want to offend him. When I first visited Earth, the stories of mythical and ancient lore fascinated me. Most of them are completely made up, but once I found out about the existence of Validin, it confirmed that some are indeed beyond just tales. I must be one of the few beings who are aware of his true identity. So you're aware of his true identity, but when you put real name, you didn't put. Is it a different name? Is his true identity not Validin? The amazing thing is he's not hiding. He is currently the frontman of Norfolka, and he's one of the most powerful voices in music. Their guitarist, Takhari, is also special. Ooh, I think Dakuman got a thing for Takhari. Called them special. Their powers often activate as they're performing, but people just think they're massive men using prompts on stage. Wow, they're so Takahari special and they're massive men. I don't know. Mm. Instead, these are gods that walk. See, gods should have a smaller G. That should be a lower G. Big G means the one true God. When you're talking about like gods like Odin or Thor or Hercules or Zeus, use the lowercase g, unless you're implying that these particular gods are the like highest beings in creation. Then you would use the higher G. People don't understand that. People often mistake that and they get that wrong. But yeah, that should probably be a lower G, unless of course again they are the highest gods in existence and that walk among regular people. Why are they here? Hmm. Why are you asking me again? Asking me questions. Why are such distinctive beings touring the world as musical artists? Musical artists. Musical. 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 You probably should have just, you know, started the musical. I don't understand why this necessitated you to put a hyphen in it. You had all look at all this space here, all this space. You could have just put musical artist down there by itself. You didn't need to start the mu up here and then the sickle down there. Bad spacing. All right, so what are his powers? According to mythological text, he relies upon a bow and arrow. I assume that his glowing eyes have something to do with the relationship with the bow. So he's a mythical being that has a bow and arrow. And you might be shocked to realize I don't think that there is a myth about anybody named Validine. I think it's a brand new creation. So the more you know, I guess. So one more. We got one more card. All right, Takhari. Real name Takhari. Height 7 foot. Weight unknown. Again, don't want to offend. We don't want to offend. Birthplace Mauritania. Wait. Where was this guy? This guy was born in Asgoror. I forgot to read that. We skipped that. Asgoror. Uh, this guy, born in Mauritania, alongside Validin. Takhari is an ancient man. That sentence makes no sense. What does it matter that he's alongside Validin? Takhari does something. Alongside Validin, Takhari is the front man for Norfolka. Alongside Validin, Takhari is an ancient man is a nonsensical sentence. It means nothing. You could have just put Takhari as an ancient man who travels alongside Validin. Unfortunately, the documentation of his existence is rather inaccurate. He is assumed to be a god. See, they put it right this time. God, lowercase g. Of vengeance among those that worship him. But this is not true. He is currently the lead guitarist for the band Norfolka. Those who are familiar with his music often consider him as one of the greatest guitarists of all time. He's the fucking Jimi Hendrix of this universe. He plays notes that shouldn't be possible, and I assume this is related to his ability. Uh, I don't know. Is this a thing? I don't think there's notes like hidden notes in between. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a music guy. Someone who's a music guy, correct me in the comments. But are there hidden notes? Are there like notes that like are there that you just can't play? Like there's a note here. We just don't know how to like make it sound. Is he like playing like high pitched, like so high pitched that only bats can hear it, or something? Is that what it is? Or like only dogs can hear the notes that he's making? Uh, I have no idea. Somebody, like I said, if you're a musical person, let me know. Is this a thing that can actually be possible? Notes that shouldn't be possible. I don't know. Only in pockets of Africa are there. Only in pockets of Africa are they at least knowledgeable of his existence. That's a weird sense. Again, what they know of them isn't entirely truthful, which allows him to simply walk among everyone else. His fans assume that his black eyes are contacts, but that clearly isn't the case. Should he decide to showcase the extent of his power, I fear for this planet. Bum, bum, bum. His powers, whatever he does with his fingers and hands, seem to activate various things. That's what she said. But this isn't mere magic. This is something else. What that something else is, I don't know. And neither does Eric July. Eric July doesn't know, but you'll figure it out and you'll say something, and then Eric will pretend like that's the thing that it was always gonna be because that's what people who don't have creativity do. They steal the ideas of the fans. And that was all 11 Documon Rippaverse cards. What'd you think? Interested? You think these cards told you anything? You think these cards were a waste of money? People bought these cards and probably overpaid, probably shouldn't have bought them. And did you learn anything new? Are you interested in these characters now? Let me know in the comments. But as always, love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.